Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. August 14th, Maximillian Kolbe. Maximilian Kolbe was born in the part of Poland that belonged to the Russian Empire. When he was 16, he and his brothers stowed away in a hay cart so they could attend seminary on the Austrian side of the country. From there, he went on to Rome to get doctorates in theology and philosophy. He built robust evangelism and publishing organizations. When the Nazis overran Poland, Kolbe was able to rescue 3,000 persecuted persons. On this date, in 1941, he was executed by lethal injection for the crime of rescuing Jewish people.
When oppression forces a fearless man to change course, he accepts it as his next assignment. One day in 1939, Poland was suddenly crowded with Germans, quartered in all the larger houses. Armed SS soldiers and blue police hunted Jews. They were taken from their houses, barns, cellars, attics, and other hiding places. Sometimes, hand grenades were thrown into the cellars. Jews were beaten and kicked, and it made no difference whether they were men, women, or small children. By mid-afternoon, the Nazis had assembled more than 900 Jews and posted a notice: "All Jews will be shot." Polish people were forced to begin digging graves in the Jewish cemetery. The penalty for helping the Jewish people was death. This was from an eyewitness report from a prominent Polish physician who recorded what happened in the public arena. But in a less public part of life, one humbled monk named Maximillian Kolbe committed his life to overcoming the growing evil with love. Before sunrise, despite his fragile health from a lifelong illness, he rose early in the morning to offer a warm breakfast to a mother in peril, a coat to an elderly Jewish man who had run for his life from the Nazis, a blanket to a child who was suddenly an orphan. The once silent monastery which Kolbe had been entrusted with was now filled with sounds of gratitude and hope, and this right in the middle of unprecedented suffering. Kolbe worked tirelessly to hide, feed, and clothe 3,000 refugees, of which 2,000 were Jews. One bleak winter evening in 1941, the infamous Gestapo pounded on the monastery door. They had one agenda: to bring Maximillian Kolbe to justice. Kolbe assured his friends, "Courage, my sons. Don't you see we are leaving on a mission? They pay our fare in the bargain. What a piece of good luck. The thing to do now is to pray well in order to win as many souls as possible." The Gestapo ripped the door from its hinges, exploded into the monastery, and shouted angry commands in German. "Seize these men and show them their fate," shouted the Nazi commander. Without another word, Kolbe gave himself up and offered a confident smile of hope to his fellow brothers as one by one they were bound and dragged away. The Nazis packed the bound prisoners into the cars of a train, where the stench of human waste and the cries of hungry children tormented Kolbe for the 3-day journey. When they arrived at the camp, an impatient soldier shouted, "Everyone out!" Someone bashed Kolbe in the head for moving too slowly and shoved him along until he ended up in the uniform line, where a soldier tattooed Kolbe Common Prisoner ID, number 16670. It was a good sign. Prisoners earmarked for the gas chamber received no tattoo. The Gestapo immediately sent Kolbe to work and forced him to haul heavy stones for the crematorium wall, breaking down his already frail body. The Gestapo singled him out for extra brutality. A guard known as Bloody Croat pointed to Kolbe. "Double the load on that Polish pig," he shouted. After only a few steps, Kolbe buckled under the impossible weight of the stone. The soldiers beat him brutally and left him for dead. But Kolbe did not die. "Bless him, O Lord, he doesn't understand what he is doing," Kolbe whispered. He kept hearing prisoners' confessions and gave them Holy Communion with smuggled bread. One day, a prisoner escaped, and to retaliate, the Nazis chose 10 prisoners to die in the starvation tank. One of the chosen prisoners cried, "My poor wife, my poor children." Kolbe forced his way to the commander, and he asked if he could take the poor man's place. To everyone's surprise, the Nazis agreed, and the guards led Father Kolbe with the 9 other prisoners to the starvation bunker. The ransomed prisoner said, "I was stunned and could hardly grasp what was going on. I, the condemned, am to live, and someone else willingly and voluntarily offers his life for me." As the scripture says, greater love has no one than this, than someone lay down his life for his friends. John 15:13. In the scope of eternity, what choices will you make today that give life to another? When oppression forces a fearless man to change course, he accepts it as his next assignment.
Thank you for listening to today's story. Every day of the year, our hope is to inspire you with real-life stories of faithful men who have gone before us. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith." Join us tomorrow for another story at 365christianmen.com.